Guys, market had a little bit of a pullback over the last 24 hours, maybe the last few days. And what happened? We actually saw the smart money selling before this crash happened. So I did take a little bit of profits off the table. I did move some Ethereum into USDC, some Solana into USDC. Am I saying the market's going to crash? Absolutely not. I'm just saying, guys, I've been through a cycle before. I've seen everybody saying buy the dip as the market goes down. And I want to make sure that we're zooming out, right? If in doubt, zoom out. So we're going to look at the smart money on chain. We're going to have a look at the S&P, some of the stuff I've talked about in terms of what's going on right now in the macro, and just my strategy overall. Here you can see I took some profits. Even today I took some more profits off the table. And we're going to have a look at the SMC bar. We're getting lots of sell signals on a lot of these tokens, and just have a look at the bigger picture really, and kind of look at the psychology. I think psychology is so important in this space, and we're getting all these different people. Some are saying buy the dip, some are saying it's going to be an extended bull run to 2026. Crazy stuff, right? So this spooked me a little bit. So a couple of days ago, I started to see quite a lot of smart money selling some altcoins. They were in huge gains. They were up quite a lot. Some of them were up 20, 30x, and they started to sell quite aggressively, and it wasn't just one or two wallets. It was a large amount of wallets that started to sell all at the same time. And here, this is my favorite indicator. I don't know if you have access to this, guys, but I have the Pronance, and it's like $1,000 a month. I know you guys, a lot of you might not be able to afford it, but I'm going to talk about it on my channel, so you're going to be able to see it anyway. So if you don't want to miss out on these videos, press the like and subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest, because as we start to crash, I'm going to be covering the markets heavy, right? I'm going to be covering support levels, short options throughout the bear market. So this is the indicator. I won't go over it. I know a lot of you already know what it is. This is the smart money stablecoin balances. So great indicator. Didn't have this last cycle, got it this cycle, and it's an absolute beast. So basically, as it goes down, smart money are deploying into the market, so they're buying. This is usually an indication that the market is starting to flatline, is starting to find a floor, and then they start to take profits here. So you can see flatline, start to take profits as you go into a bull run. So what we're watching out for is spikes in sell pressure from the smart money, okay? Because when the smart money sell, this market's really going to go down. You see when they start to sell here, this is billions and billions of dollars. So when you think you've seen a dip in the altcoins, you have not seen a dip in the altcoins, okay? When the smart money start to sell their altcoins, you're going to see things completely capitulate to the ground, okay? So if we look at Ondo, for example, this is just one altcoin. This indicator is tracking all the stable coins of people like Pantera Capital, okay? Look how much money Pantera have inside Ondo. $223,000 in this, sorry, $223 million in one wallet. $122 million, $113 million, 65, 62, 56. This is just one single investor, so one single smart money investor in one altcoin. And they have over $500 million inside this. And you can see actually they have started to take some profits in the last 30 days. Not noticeable amounts, but they did start to take some off the table. This is just the smart money, okay? If you go into the balances, you're going to see a whole lot more massive whale wallets that are holding Ondo, okay? So this indicator, when these people start to sell, this is going to shoot to the upside, which to me is going to be one of the biggest red flags. And if you look over the last week or so, it started to gradually increase. So it went probably from 3 or 4% up to like 7% or 8%. So not a life-changing amount, but a noticeable amount. When this chart moves slightly, we're talking about billions of dollars that's being sold off, guys, right? So paying close attention to this indicator, it tends to move before the rest of the market. Why? The smart money, they tend to get the inside information first. We can kind of see inside information on chain with this indicator. It's why it's so powerful. So when this moves or spikes to the upside, I pay attention and I start to question what's going on in the market. What do the smart money know? Why are they selling? The market's bullish. Bitcoin was going up and breaking almost into new highs, right? It was pushing up to 102, yet the smart money was selling. They were selling their altcoins, and we can imagine they were taking short positions as well. If they were selling some of their altcoins, why wouldn't they be taking shorts? So amazing indicator, okay? So we're going to keep an eye on that. Now, I really want to talk about the S&P because we're very, very much matching what happened last cycle. If you look here, went into this channel, broke the channel, entered a bear market. Look how similar this is, guys. We're in the same channel. We tap the top, we tap the top, touch the bottom, tap the top, having a pullback. So I think when we break this channel, we're gonna go into a bear market. Okay, so I'm watching this very, very closely. And if you look at the SMC bot on the trend line here, so you can see the SMC bot sort of followed up with the trend line almost. It was just below, but as soon as we closed below, we got a sell signal from the SMC bot. So it gave us a buy signal in the bear market. Really great for identifying the bear market buys as well. Look, last cycle and this cycle, bottom of the bear market, you got a buy signal down here, buy signal down here. Yes, you had a sell, but it finished on a buy because it closed above, and then absolutely rallied. No sell signal. It's one of the things I love about this bot. There is no sell signal all the way up. And if you took the sell signal here, you prevented a lot of the losses, okay? Because it wasn't until here where crypto really got hit hard, okay? So probably almost like a year later is where crypto really sort of got hit hard. So we don't have a sell signal yet, and we haven't broken through the bottom level here. These are going to be two very key levels for me. If we break through this bottom blue support line, I'm probably going to sell everything. I'm probably going to sell all my crypto, okay? I'm not going to sit around and hope and maybe it's not correct, because look how well the SMC bot is lining up with this trend line this cycle, okay? It's not linked to this trend line at all. It's the level of support that basically indicates bull and bear market. So the SMC bot is following this line to the T as well. When it breaks below this, we're going to get a sell on the SMC bot. So it's going to be a very, very key level for us to watch. And the last time we tested it, it held up very well back in August. And this was the second part of the rally we pushed to the upside. Now, what do you notice about these two channels? It's kind of reached a similar length, right? It's kind of reached a similar length as to the previous cycle. Now, if we take this from the bottom, it depends where you would justify the bottom to the top. So let's do a conservative one and say it started when we got the buy signal, okay? Because we got the buy signal from the SMC bot here, and it rallied up to this current level. So let's run this from the SMC bot and see where it lines up. So if we run this from the SMC bot, technically we still have a little bit of time left, okay? That's going from the buy signal. That's if this lasts exactly, if this run lasts exactly as long as it did last cycle. Then that would take us roughly into April, May, okay? Sell in May, go away. Big level, big date, big psychological date, okay? So yes, we potentially could rally into March and April and May. It makes sense. It also makes sense to have a big sell-off in May, because selling May go away. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And what did we do last cycle, guys? We didn't wait till May to take profits. We actually took profits in March, because if everyone is waiting for this one specific day to sell, it's not just some happy ever-ending story where everyone sells on the same day on 1st of May. Some people do, but I prefer to DCA out slightly before March, April. And we actually took a lot of profits last March. So 10th of March here, we started to sell. And look, I believe selling May got front run. Because you see here, we started to take profits in March, and a lot of people also caught onto it. This is the weekly as well. So March was here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, April. So May was roughly around here. So you usually get these relief rallies back up. So we bought render in the bear market down here, about 0.54. Massive rally, 25, 30x. No brainer, right? If you're ever 10, 20, 30x up, it's a no-brainer to take some profit. So we took some off the table. I also took a long position down here on the pullback, which I've just taken profits on, just in case. You never know how the market's going to go. I did take some profits. I posted that today. There's the long that I took for average price 463. We came back to support here. Massive 60-70% correction. No-brainer. Look, render at 463. You can see my Discord buy alert. I said it looks like the market is shifting a bit. We got into Sui down here. Sui was like 0.85. Got into Ondo. Ondo completely rallied. So very simple process, right? It looks simple and it sounds simple, but it's not. Buy the fear. Buy when everyone is scared. When everyone's calling for lower prices. When it's crashed, that's when you get in the bear market. And then when you start to get these massive rallies, crypto can go 20, 30, 40, 50, even 100, 1,000x, right? I made over 1,000x on a specific altcoin. We've made over 100x on several coins. And yeah, it's been absolutely crazy, right? So selling the greed, buy the fear, right? Very, very simple. Now, if we look, so I made over 20,000 realized profits. I've still got a tiny moon bag on there just in case. I'll probably end up closing it anyway. But yeah, over 20,000 P&L. I think I started this trade with, I think it was like $2,000 or $3,000. So, you know, to make that kind of returns on such a small amount was great for me. We're going to have a look at the charts on Render. I'm just going to flick over this quickly because there's something I wanted to talk about here. I've done a post, so I do these market updates in my Discord. If you want to join, there's a free link to join the Discord. And if you want to level up, all the information is inside the Discord. Just scroll to the top and go to info or join. So yeah, I do these market updates just with what's going on. Obviously, we had loads of information about the job openings, quit rates. I'm not going to waffle on about it, guys. But yeah, if you want to see that, pause the screen and you'll be able to read that. Something I put here, okay, short-term positive. Resilient job openings suggest businesses still have confidence, especially in white-collar sectors. Long-term risks, slower hiring, reduced worker confidence, and Fed rate hikes could stall economic growth. Market impact, confusion between positive job data, which is good for growth, and rising costs, which is bad for inflation, creates uncertainty leading to volatility in markets. Now, investors and companies and anyone in general investing in the markets don't tend to like uncertainty, so sometimes you can get these sell-offs. The most important thing I want to talk about on this video, though, is let's not forget Nvidia was $11 in the bear market, guys. $11. It recently tapped $150. It done more gains than many of the altcoins in crypto, many of the boomer coins in crypto like Cardano, Matic, a lot of the old BNB, Sandbox. Like it's insane what a rally stocks have had this cycle. Investors who purchased 1 billion have made over $12 billion in 2 years from buying Nvidia. Facebook was $86, recently tapped $630. BTC was $16,000, recently hit $108,000. Render, when we got in, was around 50 cents, half a dollar. It hit $13.50. Almost a 30x in a very short amount of time. That means if you put 10k in when we purchased Render, you would have made 140. You'd still be on 140k today if you bought Render. So even today, if you put 10k in, when I posted the buy alert in my Discord, I put it down here, 0.54 back in 2022, you would still be on that today. Okay, so I still got massive bags of Render, even though I just made money on the long. I've still got spot bags. I did take a lot of profits back in March. I took around 30% off the table. I have no issues taking profits right now if it looks like we're going to see more downside. Why? Because I'm still massively in profits, guys. 13x is insane. And I know a lot of you who came into the market didn't come in the bear market. Okay, so what I'm trying to teach you is the way to make money in crypto is by buying in the bear market, holding into the bull run, holding through all the FUD and it's over and over, and then starting to take some profits, right? And I know a lot of people are buying right now. I am not buying low risk plays right now, okay? I'm only selling. I'm only looking to sell my Render. I'm only looking to sell my Casper. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because they want to see more upside, but I'm always going to be real with you guys. I am only selling, okay? And I'm going to talk about my strategy for selling as we go, and we're going to do it. We're going to talk about it here. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to get to. I mean, look, if at 1330 where it topped out, it was 241k. Okay, so just a 10k risk returned nearly $250,000 in a very short amount of time. People were saying the bull run is about to start. The bull run's already happened, guys. If you put 10k in down here, you nearly made $250,000 up here, right? How much more do you want to make? Do you want to make 10 million off your 10k play? Do you want to make 50 million off your 10k play, or your 1k play? Right? You put 1k in down here, you made $25,000 from risking $1,000. This is why people were taking profits. This is why people were starting to sell. Okay. Very, very important. People get greedy. It's never enough. It's never enough. And people just want more and more and more, okay? Sui was 40 cents. recently hit $5.30, over a 10x. Caspar was less than half a cent, recently hit 20 cent, okay, 40x in a very short amount of time. Have we got Caspar here? Yes, we got Caspar. So, I put the buy alert for Caspar back in 2022. Again, $10,000. Today would be $220,000. Okay, even $1,000 back when I put the buy alert would be $22,000. Okay, so people were saying, can Caspar go to $1? Yes, it can. Can it go back to half a cent? Absolutely. Probably will. Probably will go back to half a cent. Okay, very, very important. Siri is going on crazy. 1 second. Siri's so annoying, and I do live videos, guys, so that's staying in. Okay, so yeah, look, and when it topped out, where did it top out? I think it was like 20 cents, right? So, so $10,000 would have been 400,000 at the top. So you see what I'm trying to say, guys? That the time to make real life-changing money, it's getting very hard this late into the cycle. We're getting near to the top of the market. In my opinion, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do your own research. This is just my opinion. This is just what I'm doing. Investing in crypto is highly risky and you can lose all your money at any point, okay? So this is just my strategy. This is just what I'm doing. I think we've rallied quite a lot here. I'm trying to I'm literally showing you guys that we've rallied a lot and people have made insane amount of money. And I think we're getting close to the point where everybody's going to exit the market. And I think we're going to go into some sort of a cool down. Are we going to go into a recession? Hey, maybe the data is going to come out and lead that way, right? Right now, nobody knows. Nobody knows if we're going to go into a recession. Nobody knows if we were really in a recession. We might have already been in a small recession. But just don't forget how much things have come up, okay? So if you're buying into, let's say you're buying into Render at $10 and someone else bought in at 50 cent, like, If Render goes to $20, they're in so much more profits than you, right? You make a 2x. If let's say it 2x's from the all-time high, so it hits $23. That 10k would be 418,000. Okay, so just a 2x for someone else is almost 200,000 for those who got in the bear market. This is why things really struggle to go up 50x, to go up 100x, right? Because people are in so much profits, guys. They start to DCA out, they start to sell. So very, very important. Despite the saying 80% of people losing crypto, most people are at the point that they're actually winning. So important this. So there's this thing that goes around that everyone says, be careful, 80% of people in crypto lose, right? Well, actually, in fact, if you buy in the bear market and Bitcoin hits an all-time high, every single person who ever bought Bitcoin is in profits, okay? When Render hits an all-time high, every single person who ever bought Render is in profits. Sui hits all-time high, every single person is in profits. So this is very deceiving and very misleading, okay? And it's possibly true, maybe even higher, maybe even 85% of people, maybe 90% of people lose. So why do they lose if everyone made money? It's greed, right? People get greedy. They don't know how to take profits. They don't know when enough is enough. Humans are very, very greedy. And this is why a lot of people make money in crypto. This is why the smart money are able to make huge amounts of money in crypto, because you can never underestimate human greed, right? Human greed is insane. Everybody just wants the next 2x, the next 3x. Oh, if I double this, I'm up to $10,000. If I double this, it's going to be $20,000, or maybe you've made 100,000. If I double this, it's 200,000. Well, if you don't, and the market goes down 90%, your 100,000 is going to be back to 10,000. You're going to be left with absolutely nothing, right? So human greed is one of the main reasons we see these people hodling for so long, right? The other reason I would say is hopium. There's a lot of bullish things going on in the macro, and Trump's going to win. We're going to have bullish SEC, and people refuse to believe that you could go into a bear market whilst all those things are happening. Which it's not a fair argument. Okay, it's not a fair argument, but no one seems to have like a counter strategy. What if all of these things do happen, and the S&P just corrects because everything's just been going up and people decide to take profits? What if the jobs data gets worse? What if inflation increases? What if the Fed doesn't cut rates? What if loads of different things happen that, you know, crash the market by 80%, 90%. No one seems to have a counter strategy. Everybody is just saying DCA, buy, extended cycle. So there's different groups of people I'm seeing across socials at the moment. You've got a group who are saying DCA, I'm buying this dip, I'm buying more dips. Guys, I'm not buying a Solana dip, I'm not buying a render dip, I'm not buying an Ondo dip, I'm not buying any of these low risk dips, okay? I'm only selling, I'm only taking profits, because what happens, you buy the dip, it comes back, right? It breaks below support, you buy the dip, everyone says it's going to come back, it's going to come back, it doesn't. Someone says buy the dip again, you buy the dip, and it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down. And then they go, oh guys, I thought we were in a bull run, but actually we was in a bull market. Oh, I'm sorry about that. And you've lost all your money, okay? So in my opinion, very, very bad strategy. And the question I would ask a lot of these people who are saying buy the dip DCA, buy the dip DCA, is why are you buying Solana at $180? Why weren't you buying at $20? Why weren't you buying at $8? Why weren't you buying at $30, $40, $50, $60, $70? You had many, many months to accumulate Solana below $100 or even below $50. Why are you buying at 180? What's your target on that? You're trying to make a 2x on Solana. So you know it's going to have to go to $360 for you to make a 2x, and you're buying Solana after it's gone up 10x. You're buying up here instead of buying down here. I don't get that strategy, okay? I do not get that strategy. My strategy is to buy here in this range, okay? You're not always going to time the bottom, but you can at least buy on the way up and sell, 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 sell. Only selling. Why? Because we know when things go up, guys, they're going to come down just as hard. It's not easy to see right now, but I'm not going to say, but in 12 months time, we'll come back to this video if it's still around, and we'll look and compare to what happened, okay? So human greed, it's one of the main reasons that most people lose in crypto, okay? They don't know how to take profits, they don't know when to say enough's enough. If the S&P support, if the S&P loses support, and everyone will wake up 50% down on their crypto, okay? So let's talk about that. If the S&P is kind of on this channel, we've done this channel, right? It's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing. I think at some point it's going to close below this, probably going to get some sort of little retest, some fake out, and then absolute massacre in the markets, okay? When it loses this support, you're going to get a sell from the SMC bot, absolute massacre. Crypto is down probably 50% on the first day. Sometimes it can be down even worse, right? 60, 70%. So let's say it does lose support. Let's say we've got a 100K portfolio of crypto. Now this could be 10K, 1K, whatever you want to call it. Let's say we've got a 100K portfolio. I wake up, S&P lost support, blood in the markets. Everyone is panicking. Some people are saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. I'm selling, right? I'm in the category where, hey, I've made my gains. I'm out, I'm selling. But I've sold late, okay? So I wake up, I'm 50% down. So my portfolio is now 50K. I've lost 50 grand in a single day. Why is it so hard to sell here? Because when you wake up and you're 50K down, you're constantly thinking to yourself, I should have sold when I had a 100K portfolio. I was trying to make 250. I was trying to make 300K. I thought it was going up. Everyone said buy the dip. Everyone said it was going higher, but I'm 50K down. You can't get that out of your head that you had 100K and you're waiting now for it to come back. You're waiting for it to bounce, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to wait for it to bounce. And when it gets back to 100K, I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to get out. So you wait, you go to sleep. Most of these things happen when the West is asleep, 3 a.m., 6 a.m. They know how to play the game. You wake up, the market goes down another 50%. Your 50K is now 25K. Okay, so just in 2 days, because it does happen this fast, guys, just in 2 days, you've gone from 100K to 25K. Now you're sick to your stomach because you had a 100K portfolio, you've made all those gains, and now you're going back like a year. It took you like a year to get from 25K to 100K. And your psychology, you stop listening to everyone else. Your own psychology now is saying, man, I can't sell this 25K because, I had 100K. It's now 25K. I've got to wait for a bounce. And the market just keeps coming down and down and down and down and down, and then everyone starts to realize they're in a bear market, and before you know, your 25K is 5K. I mean, it can go down 95%, right? So Not even go down 99%. Your 100K could go down to 1K. Okay, worst case scenario. So that's kind of how extreme it can be in a bear market. Now, guys, I'm playing devil's advocate. The macro is insanely bullish on crypto. I'm just trying to get you guys potentially prepared for a market crash. And for those that are new who have not been for a bear market, it's horrendous. We've been in bull run so long that people have forgotten what it feels like to sit through this, just downside. And the S&P doesn't look very bad here, right? This is bad for the S&P. It doesn't look bad. Stocks and crypto did not look like this. It was like this. It was a massacre, right? Absolute massacre. There was no sideways slow sell-off. It was absolutely brutal, and it really does go fast, right? When we start to see the smart money get out, we're talking about billions, hundreds of billions, that will be sold in a very short amount of time. And this, look how fast these spikes are. See this spike here? Look at this, guys. This was like days. Bang, bang. Most of people's smart money's portfolios were literally sold in a few days here. Absolute massacre. So what else should we talk about here? If in doubt, zoom out. I mean, let's quickly highlight that, because that's quite an important one. Look at the markets, guys, right? I mean, if in doubt, zoom out. We got a buy signal down here from the SMC bot on SUI. We took this buy signal at 0.85, absolutely rallied. And look at the retests as well of the SMC bot. Came back, retested SMC bot, retested SMC bot, pushed to the upside, retested, held up. What happens when we close below this? We're going to get a sell signal for the first time in a very long time. And when we close below this sell signal, I don't know, guys. I'm going to take some profits off the table, right? I'm going to take some profits off the table, because at some point, it's likely we're going to get this rollover that we have happen time and time again in markets, right? We get these rallies and the top stops climbing so much. Look at this rally here, massive rally, massive rally, massive rally. Not such a big rally here, okay? So we're starting to lose momentum on some of these plays. Do I think SUI can go up? Yes. Is it likely it pushes up to $10? I don't know. I don't know, guys. The market cap's very big. A lot of people have made a lot of money. A lot of SUI is due to be unlocked and released to investors who are in massive, massive profits. And it's more likely to me that we're going to see at some point some sort of rollover and massive correction, okay? And I want to make sure that I'm not down here going, oh, I should have sold at $3, I should have sold at $5. It reminds me of the Cardano cycle, last cycle, when everyone was this, like the Cardano chart literally done this, guys, like, and everyone was like down here when it melted. Everyone was like, why didn't I sell? Why didn't I take profits? You know. So it depends what your own game is. Me personally, I was only trying to make a 10x this cycle, and you know, I've done over a 10x on average on my portfolio. So I took some profits in March. I've taken some more profits off this week. I'm just taking bits of profits here. Am I still degenning? Yes, absolutely, with small amounts. I'm still buying AI agents, trying to make gains here and there if I see smart money flooding into a token. But I don't really want to be buying when the market's having a pullback on these degen gems, right? If the market pulls back to some sort of support level, like here would be quite a key support, the previous month low, yes, I might buy a degen project here, but am I buying Solana and low risks and Ondo and SUI? Absolutely not. I'm only selling, I'm only taking profits. Okay, and these profits are going into my bag to buy next bear market. Okay, they're going into to buy stocks in the crash. When we see a massive market crash, things are going to be down 80%. Things are going to be down 90%. Okay, and I know how we've played this cycle. Like how we've played this cycle is going to happen again. You're going to go into a bear market. Great projects like SUI are going to be down massive amounts. This is where I'm going to be buying in the bear market. This is where I'm going to be selling again in when we have this altcoin season. Just going to do the same thing as we've done this cycle. Don't have to do it any different. Sell when things are pumping. Wait for a crash. Max patience is required in the crash. Okay, I'm not going to be FOMOing into any pumps and dumps. I'm going to be waiting for a floor. Going to be looking at all the signals. Going to be looking at the smart money. Going to be looking at the SMC bot. The SMC bot has been great for timing a lot of these bear markets. If we go and have a look at Solana, SOL, USDT. By the way, it snaps to grid, so if you do get the SMC bot, it just literally snaps to grid. And look at this, guys. I mean, look, when I get the buy signal from the SMC bot, I'm going to be paying attention. Buy signal down here on Solana, $2, rallied up to $261. Absolutely insane. Buy signal down here, didn't get the bottom, right? So it's not always going to get the exact bottom, but 23, $24, rallied all the way up to $263. We bought this, we took this buy signal at $23, made huge amounts of money. I put so much money into Solana. I took a loan, stupidly, very risky to do that. Don't advocate it at all, but I took a loan and I put money into BTC and Solana, and I'm so glad I did because it paid off big time. The sell signal is always going to be late on the SMC bar. So we did get a sell signal at 128. I say late. You're not going to complain if you sold at 128 and it came down to $8, but you ideally want to be DCAing out into these rallies, right? I think we took profits at 190 on Solana, so around 190, almost a 10x. It had done. It's a lot, guys. And it topped out at 263, so you know we weren't far off. I say topped out, it might still go higher, especially if this ETF gets approved. You have to pay, you can't just look at technicals, right? Even though I am looking at technicals, you can't just look at technicals because you have to look at the macro, and Solana has an ETF pending that's due on the 23rd, I believe. And if the ETF gets rejected, Solana's going to dump. And if the ETF gets approved, Solana's going to pump, okay, regardless of technicals. So you're probably going to see the news first on that as well, guys. If it really starts to tank before or just before, it's probably going to get rejected, or it's probably been rejected. And likewise, if it starts to pump before it's announced, it's probably been approved. You can usually see the news first via insider trading on the charts. So that's where we are with Solana. Let's quickly look at some of the charts, because people are frothing at the mouth bullish at the moment, and you know it's look at the charts, guys. I mean, look, SMC bot again, buy signal in the bear market, great sell signal and buy signal. Look, sell signal here 23, came all the way down to 11. Buy signal happened around $17, $18, and just completely rallied. Again, found support on the SMC weekly here. I think when this weekly breaks, I think we're going to see a crash. I really do. We're going to get our first sell signal on Nvidia. And I think Nvidia is going to be one of the leading indicators because it's closely linked to crypto. So crypto follows tech stocks, but Nvidia specifically is kind of AI, gaming. It's the tech stock that's linked as close as it can be to crypto. So you see this SMC bot here, see how it's winding up. Look how much money, imagine how much money people have made on this, guys. It's bonkers. See how it's crawling up like this. Things just don't go up forever, okay? If it went up forever, everybody wins, right? Forever. Things don't go up forever. At some point or another, when everybody is scared of the market or scared of downside, you start to get these crashes. Now, look at this parabolic run. Not such a big run. We've talked about this before, right? We can clearly see momentum is starting to slow down. Are we starting to see a rollover on Nvidia? Okay, something we're gonna have to pay attention to. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone just keeps putting more money into Nvidia. Maybe people want to buy at $200 when they could have bought at $20. They could have bought at $40. They could have bought at $90, right? Maybe they just keep buying. But from my experience, things pump and pump for a couple of years, things dump and dump for a couple of years, things pump and pump for a couple of years. We go through the bull market, the bear market, the bull market, the bear market. Would I be buying down here? Absolutely. I didn't buy stocks. Actually, I did. I bought Coinbase at the literal bottom. It's the only stock I bought because it was so linked to crypto and because I understood it. And Binance were going under threat as well, right? So yeah. I think we're going to have to pay very close attention. And if we see a lot of things break this on different stocks, it's going to be a massive one because we're going to get our first sell signal since the bear market. And when we break this level, a lot of people are going to see that we're breaking key levels and we might get some sort of a sell-off or cool down, okay? Or we might even start the bear market, who knows? Let's have a quick look at Coinbase actually whilst we're here. Coinbase having a bit of a sell-off as well, so we brought down here. We actually got in before the SMC bot gave us a buy. See how we tap this floor, we're getting some sort of sideways consolidation, very similar to Render. Render was doing this as well. Render was just going sideways, kind of, you go into this bear market, and then boom, you get this sideways consolidation. Really nice area to buy. I'd probably wait for the SMC bot when you go into this sideways, so I'd wait for the buy signal, just in case you got some more, like a capitulation or a shakeout to the downside. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at with coin. I can't remember what price I got coin. Let me just check in my bookmarks. I think we got in at $40. This was the stuff we bought on the last dip, so SUI 0.85. Solana, I did take a long position, so 142, which ended up rallying. It was mainly for why I was just looking for a 2x, which it almost done. It didn't quite do that. TAL rallied, EOS 44 cents, SAY 28 cents, so those two completely rallied. Where did I get Coinbase? DYOR, that was crazy. That 4.6 million market cap, we called that. I think it went to 400 million market cap, which was like 100x. Coinbase, here we go. So this is what I posted back in 2023 in January. Buy alert, Coinbase 43.50, 10x from its all-time high. So it literally was 10x from its all-time high. Did it hit a 10x? 43.50. So we almost made a 10x on Coinbase actually, which is crazy for stocks, right? It's like a crypto. Just settled with the SEC for 100 million, so it was good to see that they were working with the SEC. Many competitors going into liquidation. That was FTX, only publicly listed exchange, has been audited by a top 3 auditor. So Binance was actually refusing to get audited, but Coinbase opted to get audited. So it's one of the selling points for me. Scrapping USD to move into USDC. We've seen a lot of talk about that recently as well. Binance, number 1, under fire from government and wanted by many regulators. Now this was before CZ got locked up, so we kind of predicted the future, because CZ, they actually came for CZ and locked him up in the end, and we saw Coinbase really rally off the back of that. Cathie Wood hasn't been doing the best, but she was investing quite a lot and was down. So I love to buy when smart money are buying, but they're down. I love to get in cheaper than smart money. It's usually a good entry, especially if it's like 50% cheaper. Just fired 1,000 employees, firing staff sounds bad, but it's actually really bullish for companies because it reduces expenses, and they kind of have to trim the fat. I don't like to refer to human beings as fat, but when you've got too many employees and you strip it down, you have to speed up processes, you have to make things more efficient. And it ends up being really good for companies. A lot of the time they become more efficient, and they also save a lot of money. So that was a really good play. I'm going to be buying stocks. So we nailed stocks. The SMC bot is even better on stocks than it is for crypto. I mean, if you look at Nvidia, what about Facebook? Let's see if it called Facebook. It's actually better on stocks than it is for crypto, which I hate to say. Look at the Facebook buy, guys. Oh my God, no sell signal, like it's picture perfect this. Look at the retests of the SMC bot. Like, not only does it give you the buy signal, right? Not only is it great for the buy signal in the bear market, because nobody knows when the bottom is. Like, nobody knows if it's going to keep coming down and down and down. It's so scary and hard to buy here. But the SMC bot flips and says, hey guys, something's changing here. Like, we're getting a trend shift. And it gives you this buy signal down here at 155. Doesn't sound like a lot of these gains, guys, but for stocks, especially Facebook, they're so low risk that you can deploy more capital, right? A lot of people put millions or billions into these because of the lower risks. It's not like crypto where you can buy something and you've got a high chance of making a loss or hitting your stop loss. This is something that you would DCA into if you got a buy signal and it did come down. But buy signal 167. Rally, and still no sell signal. Retested off the SMC bot, so when it comes back, this is where you start to worry. You potentially take a long position here, or you would, DCA technically. But as long as you hold above, still bullish. When you close below this, guys, this is going to be another indicator. When we see Nvidia and SUI and all of these tokens start to close below this level, I think it's going to be the start of the bear market. I really do. So again, are we seeing a rollover? Facebook's got really good momentum still. Massive rally. This was still quite a big rally here, but bit of a sell-off, small rally. It's still trying to push highs, which is wild. I think we potentially might have a little bit left to go in this market, but I don't think it's going to last very long, guys. I really don't. So what else did we need to talk about on this video? Yeah, if we lose key supports, I'm going to be DCing out. I did move some of my Ethereum into USDC. So I want to make sure that when we come into these opportunities again next cycle, a lot of people are so short focused. I'm excited about the bear market, right? I'm excited about an 80, 90% correction. You know, I want to see things down 70%, 80%, even a recession. It sounds bad, I know, but a recession is the best time to make life-changing money. So I'm focused on next cycle. And if you think about all the adoption that we have in crypto this cycle with governments and legislation, imagine a bear market, imagine the comeback from a bear market, especially if we start to see strategic reserves. That's one thing we're going to have to watch out for this cycle. If we see a strategic reserve be approved from Bitcoin, it's going to absolutely skyrocket. Okay, it's going to absolutely rocket because other countries are going to start trying to front run America in those reserves. How is it going to relate to the S&P? Because the S&P doesn't really care if Bitcoin has a strategic reserve. So the S&P could quite crash because of inflation or a recession. Or maybe the Fed. But what happens to BTC if a strategic reserve is approved, but yet the traditional markets, TradFi, is bearish? I really don't know. I don't know what happens. I guess we have a slightly underwhelming reaction from a strategic reserve. So strategic reserve gets approved and we see a very short-lived rally, as if the stock market's crashing, strategic reserve hype wears off. Humans have a very short memory. And we start to see maybe a quick dump after the reserve pump. So that would be a great opportunity, in my opinion, to take some profits off the table. I think we've pretty much covered everything, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to reflect. I know a lot of you came in late and you're not trading how we're trading. Most of my portfolio is in low risk plays, you know, like Stacks, Inge, Solana, Render, Casper. Most of them are in massive gains because I bought in the crash. You probably see me buy a lot of meme coins and AI agents, and you know, I bought EMP recently. We flipped that into free money. We took some profits. I bought OXO recently. I flipped that. I took some profits. I'm buying these things, guys, because we're in the final stages of a bull run, and I know I'm not going to make any money buying Solana here. I know I'm not really. It's not likely I'm going to make any money on Casper buying here. It's not likely I'm going to make much money on Render here. That's why I took a long position on Render, right? I took a long position because, well, how much am I trying to make here? It went up like 20x because I took a long position with leverage. I was quite confident we were at support, and I've taken profits off that, right? I made like 20,000, 25,000, and I wouldn't have bought spot here, really. I wouldn't have bought spot here. Is it possible that Render goes to $50? Yes, it's possible, which would be a 10x from here. But we're so far into the market now that it's much harder. The risks are much higher. The risk reward is not really there for me to buy spot on a lot of these things. I'll take longs and I'll set a stop loss just below, right? I'll take a long and I'll set a stop loss, so I lose 20% if I'm wrong, for example. But I'm not looking to buy spot. I'm only really looking to sell as this market continues to push up. And I'll buy more things, like if I see EMP, or I think we flipped GFI. So Trump obviously was getting into RWA projects, so I bought into GFI. I've already sold and took profits on that already. So I'm just like getting into things, taking profits. Not all of them are going to win. We got into loads of AI agent stuff recently. So Hydra, flipped that, took out my initials and made some profits on that. Clo, flipped that, took out my initials, and I've sold all of that now and took some profits. So kind of just trading, degen trading. It's kind of, for me, it works for me. It's the way I feel like it's the best way to make. If you're trying to make a 5-10x, I just think it's going to be very hard when so many people are in such profits. And we can see that, right? I mean, look, we sold Render at 12.30. We sold Render up here. Bitcoin was at 60k here, guys, right? Bitcoin went up to 108k, and look where Render went up to, right? It pushed up to $10. It didn't even reach the highs where we sold in March. Very worrying. Okay, that's very worrying, and I know a lot of people haven't talked about it, and it's because they don't want people to dump on them. They don't want people to dump their bags, right? Whatever, dump on me. I don't care. They don't want you to dump your bags. They don't want you to sell. Everyone wants more. Everyone's greedy. Everyone wants higher, higher, higher. And honestly, if you haven't been for a cycle already, it's extremely dangerous. You're going to get stuck into this greed and a hope that it's going to go higher and higher. I hope it does, but I have a strategy if it doesn't, right? If it comes down, I'm going to sell. Same with SUI. If SUI loses this support, I will be selling and taking profits. Okay, am I going to sell everything? Probably not, right? Probably not. If SUI loses this daily here, so I'll probably, okay, sell signal, market's looking bearish, DC, obviously I'm going to be looking at the macro. I'm not just going to sell purely off this when we look what's going on in the macro. DCA out, we lose this level, big level, might even sell everything, okay? If I've done a technical target here, if we lose this level, this is the technical target, which is 140, and I bought in at 85 cents down here when we got the buy signal from the SMC bot. So do I even want to hold down to one down here? Absolutely not, right? I've got quite a lot of money into it. I bought quite a big bag because it was a low risk play. We saw Grayscale, we're adding it to their fund. No, I want to be buying in the bear market, all right? Sui's probably going to crash, what, 80%, 90%. I want to be buying in the bear market, wait for this sideways consolidation period. I think it's going to be a lot later than here, guys. This is just an example. Just wait for the sideways period. Boom. This is where I go heavy, right? This is where I go heavy. I've got my buy signal from the SMC bot. I've got max fear on the fear and greed index. Like the smart money is starting to buy. Going to be looking at all the different indicators that we have. We're so fortunate that we have all of these different indicators to play in this market, and I don't really want to wait until half of the smart money have sold their altcoins, right? I want to try and, as soon as they start to sell and start to get out, this is red flags, right? It means the market's shifting, and I think when we start to see this is when I'm going to start to DCA out here, DCA out here, DCA out here. I don't want to be holding when people are selling up here, right? Yeah, very underwhelming that BTC rallied so much and altcoins only done this so far. Right, very, very underwhelming, and a bit of a red flag that we didn't push, because what happened last cycle is every time BTC went up a little bit, altcoins would go up more. Okay, so Bitcoin would go up 2x, altcoins would go up 4 or 5x. Stacks would absolutely go crazy every time BTC went up. Okay, and that's why I bought Stacks this cycle, because I expected BTC to have a big rally, and I was like, well, Stacks is going to have a big rally. And Stacks is doing loads of Nakamoto upgrades, all this cool stuff, has lots of institutional interest, and potentially helps improve BTC, you know, adds utility to BTC. We haven't seen that, guys, and we have to be realistic with ourselves. We have to honestly say, altcoins we've been going, when's altcoin season, when's altcoin season, when's altcoin season. I feel like we had altcoin season here, but we haven't really seen altcoin season as of yet. And BTC has gone crazy, and altcoins have not pushed up as much. Okay, so I am taking a little bit more of a safer approach. I would say, am I okay if things completely rally and I'm wrong? Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to sell, obviously, anyway, right? I'm not going to sell unless we see key support levels be broke. So as long as SUI stays above this, I'm happy to hold. You know, I'll hold with everybody else to the moon, right? To $10, to $50, whatever. If we lose key levels, I'll start to DCA out. I'm going to sell on the way up, and I'm also going to sell on the way down, right? If we push up, I've got DCA out targets to the way up. If we push down, I've got DCA targets to the way down. So if we go up or down, I can't lose, right? I've won. Right, if we go up or down, I have a strategy for either outcome. That's how I'm sort of going to play it. What else do we need to talk about? Pretty much covered everything. CAS doesn't look good, guys, and I know you don't want to hear this, but it really is not looking amazing. We're on the support here. This really needs to hold. I mean, the things we do have going for us is that the RSI is oversold, and we are getting a lot of buy pressure here, as you would, because it's been such a key level for a bounce previously. But I mean, we bought down here. This was where I put the buy signal. We made huge gains. I've already taken a lot of profits off the table. I've pretty much got a decent sized moon bag left in here. But you see how we're starting to get this rollover again. Like, we made this big high here, slightly less of a high, only slightly just higher here. Losing momentum, couldn't get above the previous high. It's like an indication that you're losing momentum, guys. And listen, I'm a Casper Maxi. I love Casper. I'm just not a moon boy. I'm not going to tell you it's up only for Casper. I'm not going to tell you that we're going to $1 or going to $5, right? Because I want you to see, hey, Casper could be at $1 this bull run. It could also be back to the price we bought it and we lost all of our gains, right? Even though, let's say today, even today, if you put 10K in, you're on 200 grand today from my buy alert. If you put $1,000 in, you're still on 20 grand. So just paint the picture in your head that your 20K could be 1K. Okay, how is that going to feel? How are you going to feel knowing that you had 20 grand, maybe a deposit for a mortgage, and you held and held onto this moon boy mentality? You saw that the S&P had just been rallying. You saw that Nvidia went from $11 to $150. You saw so many different signals. You even had on-chain data showing that your smart money are starting to take some profits off the table. But you still had this moon boy mentality and you lost all of your gains. How is that going to feel, right? It's not going to feel good, guys. So yeah, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this video. I'm just saying, guys, have a strategy for either outcome, okay? We are not in the middle or at the start of the bull run anymore. The bull run was down here, okay? The bull run started in 2022. Many things done at 20, 25x, more than anyone ever dreamed of, right? I only wanted to make a 10x. Things were like 25x when I started to sell stuff, guys, because it was 25x, 30x up in profit. Dream come true, right? Dream come true. I'm not going to fall victim to mass greed. Also, one thing I will say what I'm doing now is I'm massively reducing my plays. So let's say I have a lot more than this in crypto, but let's say I have 100K, and let's say before I was doing 5K plays, right? Just putting 5K into something. If I find something, tons of smart money flooded into this, really cool project, AI agent, potentially could be a game changer. I could see this rallying, but we're 70, 80% into the bull market. We're expecting a crash soon. Instead of doing 5K, I might just put 1K in, right? Or I might even put $500 in. Why am I doing this? Because look, if I'm wrong and the bear market comes and it crashes, I'm only losing small amounts that I can afford to lose, right? I'm just having fun with it. Hey, maybe my 1K turns into 5K, happy days, it's a little bit extra profit. Hey, maybe my 1K hits a 50% stop loss and it's now 500, whoopie-doo, right? It's not affecting me much. And this is what I'll do more and more as we go into the bull run. This kind of stops my greed and FOMO and fear of missing out. There's nothing worse than taking profits and you start to see things rallying and you're like, why didn't I get into that? So I'm dropping my plays by a lot. Hey, maybe I might even do $250 plays just to stay in the game, or $125 plays. Like, this is obviously small amounts of money to me. This might be a lot to some of you. So if, for example, some of you are trading with a 1K bag, maybe you do $10 plays, maybe you do $20 plays, right? And you try and turn your $20 into $100, right? Profits are profits, profits are profits. And $100 in the bear market, you've just seen a lot of things 25x, right? That's 2.5K from $100. So every little $100 we manage to preserve for the bear market could be 2.5K, okay? Every 10K we reserve for the bear market, that's 25x. If we hit more 25x's next bear market, which, you know, is pretty much very possible, that's 250K, that's $250,000. So I want to be preserving as many of these 10K plays, these 1K plays as I can in the next crash, right? Especially as I'm getting into stocks next cycle, and the SMC bot has just been bonkers on stocks. Did it call? So we had Nvidia, we had Facebook. What else were the main runners? Apple done pretty well. Let's have a look at the weekly on Apple. With stocks, it's best to look at the weekly because it moves a lot slower. Pretty good buy signal down here. Look, I've done this chart again, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Came down to the SMC weekly. This level's starting to curve round. Are we going to retest it and push to the upside, or are we going to retest and dump? Mate, Apple's been on a wild tear. Apple's a lot messier, but look, you can see where I drew these previous supports. I said, look, when we break this, it's likely we're going to have a massive rally. And look, when we broke this level, this was the level that sent us up. And the SMC bot gave us a buy signal at $147, so not too bad. I know this video has been a bit long, guys. Look, if you like these videos, if you want me to keep you updated on what I'm doing in the markets, let me know. I know all of you want DGen plays and the next 10x, next 100x, but I don't want people to lose money. I don't want people to sit and hodl and hope. And I am taking short positions. I've opened some short positions this week as well. I am going to short into the next bear market, okay? So if we look at BTC USDT last cycle, you can make colossal gains by shorting if you short at the right time, okay? So if we look at last cycle, buy signal down here, massive bull run rally into bear market, we had a few sell signals here from the SMC bot, and if you catch this, see how fast it falls down. Just in a few days, guys, the entire bear bull run was over. This is the daily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe not even 2 weeks, guys, and it was down. Altcoins decimated here. Like altcoins down maybe 90% here just in a couple of weeks. All of your gains lost. This is the people don't know what's coming, and this is why I'm not DCAing and buying these dips. I'm just trading. So yeah, if you take short positions here, absolutely insane gains. And it's a lower risk play because it crashes so fast. It just comes down and down and down. It's kind of a lower risk play. The thing is timing it, right? Because people would have shorted here, got wrecked, shorted here, got wrecked, shorted here, got wrecked. It's very hard to time. Really, it's better to see how you're getting the rollover, guys, that I've talked about on a lot of these tokens. That's exactly the rollover that we had last cycle as well. It's very hard. The SMC bot does help. Look, sell signal here, crash to the downside. Sell signal here, crash to the downside. I don't really want to be trading these sideways periods, but when you get these clear moves and you struggle to break through resistance, see how it always tries to break over the SMC bot moving average here. Look, trying to break through it. See how the line here can't get through, pushes back up. These are the short entries that I'm going to be taking when we retest this SMC bot moving trend line. See how here it retest, short entry, perfect, short entry, perfect, short entry, perfect. Those are the shorts I'm going to be looking. Obviously, we're going to be looking at a lot more than just the SMC, but we're going to look at all the on-chain data, what the smart money are doing. The cool thing is we can see when the smart money is selling altcoins. So when Pantera start to sell $500 million worth of Ondo, what do you think is going to happen to Ondo? Okay, so I'm going to set trackers up in real time in the Discord, and we're going to track all of these wallets. So as soon as Pantera start to move these different wallets, we're going to get alerted in the Discord. Look how much money Pantera have made, $82 million in the last 90 days. You think they're not going to take profits? It's insane. We're going to get notified in real time when they start to move these to exchanges. Like we can see when they're moving it to Coinbase, we can see when they're starting to take profits. And that's going to be another signal for us to take short positions, right? There's no better data than that, actually. If you see Pantera move $500 million to Coinbase, it's not for fun, guys, right? It's for one reason: it's to start to dollar cost average out. So I'm going to go into a lot of the biggest altcoins and track a lot of these funds. We couldn't do this last cycle. Like, this data is so overpowered. It's so fortunate that we have access to this data. I'm going to track a lot of these funds, a lot of these institutions, Coinbase Ventures, Pantera, Digital Currency Group, and we're going to get notified when they start to dump. So when the smart money dump, we'll be able to see, and I think we're going to see altcoins that they start to sell come down very fast. That's it for now, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest. If you want to jump in and see what we're all about, if you want to get these market updates, don't forget to jump into the Discord and just go to this one here to catch up with us. There's a free link to the Discord below, so jump on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next one.